I was doing well. Could I have done better? Sure. Do I feel like, hey, if I was given an opportunity, could I have been more of a superstar? Sure. But it all comes clean in the wash. And really, in the beginning, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of camaraderie when I got there, and that's what really kept me there as long as I was there, because the behind the scenes stuff was all right, man, and the boys got along, and everybody did their thing, and it didn't really get toxic till it was cutthroat time, and guys are leaving, and guys are doing this, or guys are not showing up, and it got frustrating when someone didn't show up and you had to work extra days and things like that. But
Did you
I
ever did you ever find out, like you said, the last couple of years were kind of stressful? Did you ever find out, like, if anyone like ever politicked you out of an opportunity within that time, like in the last?
um I've never found out about it. There were a couple guys who came out and said, "Why would this guy get? Why is he getting TV time?" Especially during the Misfits thing as it started to kick off. Well, why are they getting the? I mean, who? What's he done? Why does he deserve a U.S. championship run? Or why are they getting so many segments and all that stuff? And I just took it with a grain of salt because, hey, if you'd show up, or if you did what you were asked to do, I probably wouldn't have these segments. But I'm not aware that someone put their thumb on my name and held me down. So I know there was a couple guys, why, all of a sudden, why is he getting it? Why does he get the shot? But
Oh, 100%. And I think that that comes, and, I think that where people see that as jealousy, but like, talking, misfits in action, like that was one of the, hottest, if not one of the hottest things in WCW in that time. I want to get into that. But before I do, I want to ask about the Goldberg streak, because you were like the first guy who
yeah,
basically kicked that off. So Bill Goldberg comes in to WCW, this guy looking like, just like a fucking jacked machine
yep.
comes in. What was the feeling about it when he first came in? Was everyone sort of going, like how you said before, who the fuck, where's this guy been? Where's he come from?
No, because Bill was he was at the power plant and doing stuff, and he'd been in backstage and stuff. Um, and Bill was never like really introduced to anybody like, hey,
Next
that
big
guy,
thing.
he's the guy. And no, Bill was just one of the other guys. So the night that they had the match, they set the match up. They said, hey, you're going to be with Bill. He's going over, and we want him to let's really make him look the best we can do. So I mean, there wasn't much conversation about it. Bill was really really cool. Let's do some things. Uh, I'll hit I'll hit the no laughing matter,
Mhm.
kick out of it, and do your thing. So we
Were
had
you,
the match.
were you cool with him kicking out of your finish? Because I know like a lot of guys can be protective of that.
That, but it goes back to like that's my job though, and
Yep.
my finish was established enough where I at the time I didn't think it would hurt me, and the only other person there was two other people that kicked out of my finish. One was Hogan,
That's pretty good company to be in for Goldberg, right?
and, and so how do I go? Who's this Hulk Hogan guy, and how's he kick out of my finish? The fact that Hogan trusted me enough, by the way, on more than one occasion after that, because I took care of him, we did it numerous times. But so I hit the finish. The place comes unglued. I cover him. When he kicked out, the place is like, what the hell? Bill goes into his stuff. He beats me. I think they weren't supposed to say his name, but they said Goldberg, so now it's stuck.
Yeah.
So I was the first in the streak that I still fully didn't think they knew they was going to be a streak. They were playing it by ear. So I was first, and then I kid around. Then I was 17th, I was 18th, I was 21. I was, I had a lot of matches with Bill. I enjoyed every single one of them. And I think it's pretty cool as an, I'm 56. And if I sit there and go, what's my legacy in the business? Uh, Tough enough trainer, the most hated guy in wrestling, and that was Bill Goldberg's first match. History.
Yeah,
And
100%. Those are some pretty big accomplishments, though.
but a lot of people would be upset with that. I don't want to be known as that guy's friend. Are you kidding me? First of all, let's say Bill never became a Hall of Famer. Bill never did anything after WCW. So what? Someone did that for me.
Mm.
So then you do it for the next guy.
Yeah. How did the Misfits in Action come to be? Because, like, I honestly think general, huge erection. Like, I
Oh,
popped for that as a kid when you came out and you introduced that character. I just remembered sitting there and going, "This is brilliant." And that
oh,
was during the time of like, that shock TV era of the late 90s, early 2000s, which a lot of people probably wouldn't get away with these
right,
days.
right.
Um, but how was the Misfits and how was general huge erection, pitched to you?
So the Misfits were put together um, by Vince Russo because we were truly called. He put a bunch of guys in the room. He goes, "Listen, there's nothing. We just have nothing for you. You guys, you're like just a bunch of misfits right now." So a light bulb goes off, right? And you go, "Okay." So we're trying to figure, okay, you got nothing for us, and it wasn't as a group, as individuals. He talked to a whole bunch of people. There's just nothing for you, but just right now you're like misfits. So we started thinking about it. One thing like, well, what do we call each other? Well, there's already the Misfits, right? The group, the rock, the punk group,
Yeah.
who were with WCW. So we got together and we sat down with Arn Anderson and Vince Russo. So the guys that sat down together were Van Hammer, Chavo Guerrero, Lash, LaRue, and myself. So then, and to make us legitimate as a group, Booker T, because Booker T had a gimmick in Texas where he called himself GI Bro. So he was the leader. He was GI Bro. Well, then we all had to come up with kind of like military names. So Hammer was Lieutenant Stash because he always kept his stuff to himself. He never shared with anybody.
Yeah.
Lash LaRue was Corporal Cajun because, he's Lash LaRue. Chavo was Lieutenant Loco because he's freaking crazy. He's a Guerrero. Then they brought the girl in because she was originally one of Steiner's girls. She was one of the 3 girls. Well, they didn't know what to do with her. And because she was big busted, they called her Major Guns.